Is there any living, rational, smart beings in our universe? The short answer is yes. Of course, by rational and smart, we mean a being that can think, make choices, and be reasonable, not only led by instinct. On the other hand, the long answer starts with a weird question that you need to think carefully about. What's your idea of ghosts? Do you believe they're real? And if not, why do you think so many people throughout history have held on to such a strange and seemingly irrational belief? Actually, that takes us to the same concept for Satan, and it's very rational. Satan is mentioned in all major cultures and religions of the world, and in all of them, he seems like an intelligent being that can think and make choices. Especially the three main ones: Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. So what are the Satan species? They are called genies, or jinn. While the Torah and Bible don't use the term jinn, they do describe intelligent, unseen beings, mostly in the category of demons or evil spirits. The Islamic concept, however, is more detailed. In Islam, jinn are not merely forces of evil. They are an entire race of beings created by God, given free will, and capable of both good and evil, just like humans. For example, in the very first chapter of the Qur'an, you see this verse: "When we said to the angels, 'Prostrate before Adam,' so they prostrated, except for Iblis, Satan. He refused and was arrogant and became of the disbelievers." A definitive act of free will and pride. You might be wondering, but how can I know this actually happened? Couldn't it just be a made-up story? Well, think about it. How do we know anything that happened before we were born? Whether it's an ancient empire or something as recent as World War I, we rely on mass transmission, records, writings, and testimonies passed down by generations before us. None of us alive today witnessed those events, yet we accept them as history. Think about horror movies. The stories they tell of ghosts, demons, unseen forces aren't invented from scratch. Their ideas simply come from deep-rooted beliefs that stretch back thousands of years. Why would humans in completely different times and places, with no internet, no contact, no shared media, have such similar stories about spirits, unseen forces, or evil beings? These ideas didn't just appear out of thin air. They're part of a shared human experience passed down generation after generation. If you are not convinced, yet just pair with me for a little bit. I can be tough, I know. Also, if you stayed that long, you probably liked the video. So push us with a like button, don't be shy. What are their specifications, or what they look like? Believe it or not, there are a lot of human beings that have dealt with them, from different cultures, different timelines throughout history. For example, let's talk about one of the oldest civilizations ever. Egypt were known vastly for using magic. And by magic, I don't mean that mumbo-jumbo you hear about. In ancient Egyptian culture, magic wasn't seen as superstition, the way many think of it today. It was considered a practical science, woven into religion, medicine, and daily life. They even had a specific word for it: haka, which meant both the magical force itself and the practice of using it. It appears on their walls, drawings and writings all over the place, and if you know any Egyptian astrologists, they will confirm it with 100% certainty. If you've ever heard the modern scientific concept of parallel dimensions, then it's not too hard to imagine there might be intelligent life in one of those dimensions, living right alongside us. According to scholars, the most certain things about these beings, that they are a lot faster than us and live hundreds or even thousands of years. They possess the ability to traverse great distances in a fraction of the time it would take a human. Yet despite their speed and longevity, they are still mortal. They eat, drink, reproduce, and like humans, they eventually die. Their abilities do not make them divine. only different in their nature and the realm they inhabit. But probably you can hit the subscribe button faster than them. We really need to expand our volume. Back on topic. Surprisingly, speed and lifespan are not the most profound difference between us. The greatest distinction lies in the way we acquire knowledge compared to them. Humans are designed to learn progressively, through study, reflection, and the accumulation of experiences over time. Jinn, on the other hand, do not learn in the same way. Their knowledge is largely static, drawn from what they personally witness or overhear. While they may live for centuries and observe countless events, they do not engage in a structured process of education, analysis, and growth like we do. What they know is often limited to immediate experience and information they can seize in the moment. And this is where things get even more interesting. Jinn have been interacting with humans for as long as humans have existed. Stories of these interactions aren't just in religious scripture. They appear in countless cultures worldwide. Naturally, they would be a great help to us because of their supernatural abilities. But unfortunately, the world and its beings are not that kind, nor naive. One of the most famous and long-standing cases of human-jinn interaction is the Tsar phenomenon, documented for centuries in parts of North Africa and the Middle East, especially Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia. The Tsar is believed to be a type of jinn possession, where the jinn demands offerings or rituals from the person it inhabits. Victims, often women, report strange voices speaking through them, knowledge of hidden things, sudden mood changes, and physical strength beyond normal limits. In fact, the Qur'an once more directly talks about this connection between humans and jinn. And there were men from mankind who sought refuge in men from the jinn, so they only increased them in burden. Across cultures and centuries, from ancient Egyptians to African Tsar ceremonies to Middle Eastern occult practices, the pattern is the same. No human has ever walked away from a deal with the jinn more free, more whole, or more blessed than before. The cost is always greater than the gain. For better or for worse, the verdict from scholars, researchers, and centuries of human testimony is the same. The jinn exist. Whether you view them as a warning from sacred scripture, a reality observed in countless cultures, or a mystery science has yet to fully explain, their presence is an undeniable part of our world's history.